We are recording and we are starting this presentation, and it's basically a presentation to make sure you are ready for high school. And why are we talking about it now in 8th grade? Because 9th grade is the first year of high school, no matter where it's located. Okay, so why? There we go. Okay, so I thought a good title of this presentation would be What You Need to Know Now So You Don't Regret It Later. The seeds we plant, the habits we have now are going to make a big difference later. And so we want to make sure that we are starting out with some good seeds. And the nice thing about having the conversation now is you have plenty of time to work on things and be ready. I have a lot of experience. I have 30 years of experience in education, and it's all from kindergarten to adult ed. And I probably should back up because before I started recording, I mentioned my name, but I'm Tina Carper, the counselor at Early Light, and this is my favorite age to work with. You're just at the beginning. But because I've worked with older grades, I just want to share with you what they've told me, and that is, oh, I wished I took 9th grade seriously. And so that's why we're having this conversation now, to get you ready since registration is around the corner. So one of the things you need to know is explore now when it is free. And you might say, what? Well, really, when it comes to junior high and high school, it is free education. Where if you decide as an adult, oh, I think I want to learn how to sew or do Photoshop, or I want to study science. Well, now you're going to have to go to a college or a training center and pay big bucks. Where if you explored and tried to take these different classes in 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th grade, you would have an idea of what you like and don't like without having to pay the big bucks. Even though there's sometimes $10 class fees, that's nothing compared to hundreds of dollars of tuition. So think of that and make the commitment to try different things. Most of our classes, our elective classes, are a semester class, which means half of the school year. So we're talking 4 months of trying something. So let's say you sign up for something and it's just not your favorite. Well, it's going to be done in 4 months, and now you know something about yourself, what you like and what you don't like. And so try different things. Don't let other people's biases impact your chance to explore. I have 4 children. They're now adults now, but I remember they went through the same high school. And I remember that them talking about, oh, what classes they liked and what they didn't like, what teachers they liked and didn't like. And I told them, I said, yeah, but you guys have different preferences. And sure enough, when they, were talking about it, they were like, oh, this teacher, I was really nervous with this teacher. And then with another one of my childhood was like, well, that same teacher was my favorite. So you have a different personality than, for example, your friends or even siblings. And so just make sure that you take information, but just know that you are yourself and you might enjoy something even if your friend didn't or a sibling didn't. So just make sure that you go in with a great attitude so you can see if you like that subject or not. Okay, this is a big one. If I had a marquee or I could do a song and dance, I would do it. Grades do matter. And your permanent high school GPA starts when first term ends and you get your first high school report card. And it will be averaged at the end of every term, and your cumulative GPA is created. And so you need to know that, because again, remember how I told you I worked with older students and they all said, oh, I wished I took 9th grade more seriously. You're in a position to not make that same mistake. And again, like I mentioned earlier, you still have a semester to go ahead and analyze, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What am I going to do different? Because you want to make sure you're at your best when you start 9th grade. Be honest with yourself and consult with your parents. I promise they know more than you think they know. They observe and they know if you're wasting time, or they know when you're stressed. Communicate with them and they'll help you identify those strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so So this is an example of why grades matter. So this is a presentation This is from a presentation I did on Friday for just in general scholarships, but it also can be used for admissions for colleges. When the college says, oh, we only have room for this many students and they can't take everybody, well, then they have to decide how they're going to do that. So they have a chart. A lot of colleges, not every single one, but most of our colleges use your GPA and an ACT score. They match them up, and then based on that index number, they call it, they make a decision on, yes, you get in, no, you don't get in, or yes, you get a scholarship from us, or no, you don't. So that GPA is so important. And again, it's your cumulative GPA. So at the end of every term, starting ninth grade first term, it updates your cumulative GPA, and that's what's used in a situation like this. It's not your favorite GPA, it's not your best or your most recent. So that's why every term counts, and you just want to make sure you're doing your best. Okay, another thing, it's so important, and it starts now, but it's especially important as a high school student. Take responsibility for your education. It's yours. And you might think, oh no, I'm just here because I have to be. Well, then that's the good place to start is, no, I want to be here. I understand that this is helping me prepare for whatever comes my way after high school. Speak up if you have a question. If you don't understand something, don't be, if the teacher says, okay, does everyone understand? Does anyone have any questions? Speak up. If you ask that question, I guarantee you there's a few other students saying, oh, thank goodness someone asked. Be that person. Ask the teacher for help in a private matter if you don't want to do it in class. You can come see your counselor and ask if you have some questions. Or let's say, okay, I know I need to talk with the teacher, but I'm a little nervous. I can help you with that. Use your parents as a support. But the most important thing, take action before a parent makes you take action. That is their dream for you. And the reason why it's a dream for them is then they know that you're going to be okay because you can speak up for yourself. So evaluate where you are and practice, and let's get you to where you need to be. And everyone's at their own level, and that's okay as long as we're progressing toward that independence. Learning does matter. I should have put it first, except this is such a larger topic. I kind of wanted to end on it. But you are here to learn and to learn how to learn. That's part of it. It's not, do you know this stuff and can you get A's on this test? No, we want you to have a great base knowledge, and we want you to know how to learn and how to ask questions and how to do different things and stretch your brain and help it grow in all kinds of areas so you're prepared for anything that comes your way after high school. And everyone will go their own different direction. So is what the State Board of Education did for the state of Utah, that they got together and said, okay, to make sure we have a good foundation, these are the things that we need. And then they created that list. Then school districts, like Jordan School District, will add to that list. They can't take away from that list, but they can add to it and say, okay, well, we also think that they need this and this and this. And they come up with their graduation requirements. And you must meet all the requirements. But I wanted to focus on credits and classes. So study skills are lifetime skills, part of that learning how to learn. Most of you are going to be doing jobs that aren't even invented yet. It's kind of a weird concept, but in our technology age, we're just growing and growing and growing, and all kinds of innovative things are happening. And so if you know how to learn and you know how to adapt when things aren't working well, or hey, something new, okay, I'll try it, you're going to be just fine, no matter what comes after high school. But if you think about some key elements that you're practicing, or your parents are asking you to practice, and your teachers and your counselor, we're asking you to practice discipline. Do your homework without being told to, working in class, listening in class, adapting when, all of a sudden we have a soft closure. I mean, we've had more practice than we've wanted. Asking questions, dependability, that they know that you're going to get your stuff done on your own. So these are things that are going to help you throughout life. If you interviewed your boss and said, okay, what are the skills that, what are you looking for in a potential employee? These things are going to come up. Okay, so What am I talking about when it comes to graduation requirements? There's lots of things, but the core for Jordan School District that we need to focus on now, because we're going to be registering for classes next year, are you have to have 27 credits to graduate, but you can't choose any 27 credits. They have to be of this breakdown. You need 4 credits of language arts, 3 credits of math, 3 credits of science from 2 different categories. So it means you can't take 3 types of biology classes and be good. They have to, 2 of them have to be a different type of science. So like a life science, computer science, physical science, and there's a couple of others. And then, you know, the third one could be whatever you would like in the science category. 3.5 credits of social studies, 2 credits of PE and health. Yep, you get to take another health class. 1.5 credits of fine arts, 1 CTE, which stands for career technical education, a half a credit of digital studies, a half a credit of general financial literacy, but 8 of the credits are electives, and electives are the classes you choose to take for whatever reason. So whether it's, well, I want to see if I like this, exploring, or I know I want to do this after high school, I'm going to use this to prepare me for it. Or it might be, I need this class because I'm taking a heavy load and I need a nice break, and this is something that gives me a break. So all of that is how you can use your electives. Okay, now you might be saying, what in the world is a credit? I hope you're thinking that. Okay, so 1 term is a quarter credit. 1 semester, so 2 terms, that would be from the beginning of the school year till January 15th, is a semester, and we have a semester left. Well, each semester is a half credit. A full year is a full credit. So now, going back to this, every year you get to take language arts. But it is kind of interesting, you only have 3 credits of math. So some of you that might not necessarily like math are saying, oh my word, I don't have to take math my senior year. Well, technically that's true, but that's not necessarily wise. But I'll let your counselor at your high school really hound you about that one, because it really depends on your goals. And if you are college bound, you want to take math every year. But the same thing with science. 3 credits, you just need to fit them in within your 4 years. So that gives you an idea of what the requirements are, but the key is how to take those requirements and make them work for you, and make sure you're prepared. So how does early light help you with your credits? Now, again, high school starts in 9th grade, so the credits we're talking about start in 9th grade. So even if you took a health class in 8th grade, which is technically called Health 1, yes, you have to take a health in high school, which is 9th through 12th. And that's actually called Health 2. So, okay, so we obviously teach language arts, and we have regular and honors. We teach math, and we have regular and honors. And our science, we will teach biology, and we have an honors option. Social studies, we teach the required world geography, and we have an AP option, which is advanced placement. So you're taking the college version of it, and your reward is you're really stretching your brain and learning great skills. But if you choose to take a test at the springtime of the class time, and you get a high enough score, you can actually earn college credits. So that's pretty cool. Okay, PE health. We teach PE 9, and we teach Fit for Life. So you can get half your stuff done at Early Light next year. We have lots of art. That is obviously the strength of Early Light. And so all of those great visual arts, graphic arts, performing arts count as fine arts. And then computer science can count as digital studies. It also can count as CTE, and we have a STEM class that counts as a CTE. Now, you can only put 1 class in 1 category. So for example, computer science is a full year class, and so half of it can count as digital studies. The other half credit can go to CTE. Let's do another example. Let's say you took full year choir and full year theater in 9th grade. Well, that equals 2 credits, but you only need 1.5. So where does that extra half credit go? It's not wasted. It just goes down to electives, because electives are for you to take as many classes as you want in any area. So nothing is a wasted credit. As when you get closer to your senior year, well, even your junior year, you'll do a check on what do I have left, because you do not want to leave required classes for your senior year if you had a chance to do it earlier, because your senior year, you have so many college classes you can take as a high school. You can actually do some specific job training, and we're hoping, you know, as you are getting older and thinking about this, your senior year, you'll really know where you want to spend your time or a possible career. And so you'll want the freedom your senior year to make sure you're preparing for that specific goal. Okay, some advantages that put us above other junior highs. You can leave with 10 credits. Most junior highs it's 7 or 8, but you can leave with 10 credits. So more than a third of your 27 as a 9th grader. So that's awesome. So we offer the required 9th grade classes, but we actually offer computer science and Fit for Life, which normally you would just do in high school, but we offer them for our 9th graders to just give you more of those required classes that you can get out of the way. Fit for Life is a specific class that has to be taken. Computer science is one of many that could count as digital studies or CTE. So when we talk about registration and you read the description for computer science, if you think that's not for you, you could wait until you go to high school that does the 10th through 12th, and you can see what they have as choices and pick from them. Okay, stretch beyond your comfort zone, the elastic theory. You want to stretch and stretch and stretch because your brain is a muscle and you need to work those muscles to get them stronger. And if you don't use them, they grow weaker, but you don't want to break. So be honest with yourself and assess where you're at and what you can work on to improve. Consult with your parents, so make yourself stretch, but don't break. Challenge yourself with honors classes in areas that you're like, I'm strong in this. Socially, stretch, go outside your comfort zone. Life's going to always put you in some different situations. And so if you develop those skills now, it's going to serve you well as you deal with the rest of your life. Because again, we're trying to create a lifelong learner. Hey, later this week, I'm going to send out through Aspire, so to your parents' emails, a chance to make an appointment with me. It's called a PCCR. We love acronyms. Plan for College and Career Readiness. So I've given you this general information, but that's a time where I can talk about your individual situation and any other questions that didn't get answered. So it's just a great opportunity for that. And you can choose to do it in person, by Zoom, or by phone, whatever you're most comfortable with. And the number one goal is to make sure that your seeds produce the dream that you want. So, so that's actually my message that I wanted to share. And so I'm going to check the chat room in case there were any questions. Wow. Okay. So I think most of you are like, okay, what's this about, being prepared for 9th grade? So if you don't have any questions, that's great. But I do hope that when that email comes to make that individual appointment, you take advantage of it so we can talk about how you're doing and review your strengths and help come up with ideas to make you even stronger and prepared for 9th grade, because we definitely want to make sure you're at your best. So thank you so much for your time. I hope you did eat your lunch and enjoy the rest of your day.